what would be the reasons behind that for your specific solution, so people could understand what goes into that? What makes it last longer? What makes it higher quality, basically?
Yeah, it's many things, and I think what we've done very well is leverage the most advanced modern engineering techniques to build the display, where we do not need moving parts to make our stuff work. And for anyone to say that you need moving parts is a crazy conversation. This is 2020. You have these little phones that can throw 30,000 dots onto your face to open it up. So, the Apple and crew are doing things much more novel than this industry, that's for certain. But in terms of what we're bringing to the market for our industry, we are light years ahead in terms of how these things go together. So when you have fans and other connectors and Ethernet cables and wires and sender receiver, it's another thing that can go wrong. So, how do you build a display that has, the best longevity possible? Reduce the amount of components. I talked about, we don't have a single wire in our display. Buy expensive power supplies that are only driven half of what they can do, so they're never stressed. They never get hot. Buy really good LEDs, so they don't generate a lot of heat. They're going to look good and great color saturation. So you got to do a couple things. You got to source really good components, and that's the easy part. But then you need to develop and engineer to make those work really, really well together. You need to build your own control system, which we have a proprietary control system that gives us control over this whole ecosystem. And that's important too. But then you got to put these together, and leveraging advanced robotic techniques, so there's a precision and a repeatability and scalability in what we do. I would put our manufacturing facility against anyone on the planet, not just domestically here in North America, but we are doing things, and we're just getting started. We got some cool things. Like I know there's a video you can share as a part of that we put out this week. And
yeah, we'll put that in the description too, for sure.
Yeah, and that's just phase one. We got some really cool stuff cooking in terms of the robotic processes to make sure these are, built the absolute best way possible through using premium globally sourced components. Driven by engineering techniques that are modern to today, not what was novel, a decade ago. And that's what we're always learning, getting better, improving. That's why we have a fairly fast iteration process. We're on our N2, Blade X, Blade M. We're on our fourth product iteration, in 8 years. No one is accelerating that fast, but
right.
The other thing to note too, Bob, these aren't just like, it's not like a brand new product every time. It's just making it better, making it better, making it better, making it better. Okay. So we're proud of that. And that's just like, that's the electronics, that's great, but that's like par for the course with the software that continues to be accelerated. But you take a look at even our frames, like where we could sit there and continue to make the same frame for the next 15 years, but no. How do we make a better frame? Make it 10x the strength of the old one, make it thinner, and taking manufacturing into our own building, so we control the process and the supply chain, and without increasing costs. So bringing that in house, we made a frame that's 10x better, yet not increasing cost. That's how we work, and we're bringing plastics into Cirrus by year's end. We're going to be doing our own plastics, which is really neat. So you talk about vertical integration. If I was to, share, like, who do you compare Cirrus to? And I'm going to, bring in Tesla and what they've done, whether you're an electric car fan or not, but what they've done in this market is completely disrupt how this, how the auto industry worked, for decades. And here's this, company, Tesla, and electric cars, and that's going to phase out quickly. Well, no, they looked at quality, they looked at value, they looked at manufacturing processes so they could develop a better car at a lower price point that is also completely different than anything else. And they also vertically integrate all of their electronics, so they have control, I mean, down to the control board in their cars, right? They're not using a third-party NVIDIA graphics card.
Yeah.
They have, their own Tesla-designed PCB, which Cirrus is the same way. We're not using an off-the-shelf third-party PCB for our stuff. There's a Cirrus logo branded on our electronics because we engineer that product, and that vertical integration gives us the control over our tech that no one else can.